The ultimate sacrifice. The ultimate sacrifice, man. That's what Jesus was. I tell you what, a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people like to not even say the name Jesus anymore. But you know, 'tis the season. It's Christmas. It was just his birthday, so we should probably pay some respects to what started this all off and why you have Christmas under a tree to even begin with. So Merry Christmas, Jesus. Hope you had a good birthday. You know, the story of Jesus is a powerful one, man. You can believe it's true or not. It can be false or true. But what a good story that is. You have this guy that comes into the world and he helps people see the truth. Let's just put this in the story or the context of any other good stories. You have a hero that comes along. He gives the truth to a bunch of people. He helps them escape their suffering. He faces evil head on. And at the very end, he sacrifices himself. The ultimate sacrifice. The ultimate gift to the world. And excruciating pain. Nailed there. 3 days on a cross. Betrayed by his disciple. Given up. Forsaken by his father. Father, why have you forsaken me? The ultimate sacrifice. The extreme. The pinnacle of any you could say, in any story, going to the extreme. One man giving himself up. Losing the ego. Suffering for the rest of mankind. And that story is a powerful one because I think it shows us as men that, you know what, sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice. Sometimes in your life, you're going to have to give up some things to get something else in return. You're going to have to put yourself on a cross or something that you hold very dearly to your heart. You're going to have to nail that sucker to a cross and get rid of it. You know, a lot of people don't even really acknowledge these stories anymore, but I tell you what, that kind of growing up with these stories, I couldn't be more grateful than for being in a church, coming to understand these stories as these deep, meaningful things, regardless of whether everything is true, without becoming too religious. Man, if I ever have kids, you better believe I'm taking them to church. I'm showing them the stories. I'm bringing them up. I'm teaching them. I'm letting them follow the example of Jesus. I'm going to show them what kind of man he was, hopefully by the way that I act, and that they can imitate him, that they can imitate me, that they can imitate what it is to be the perfect man. And maybe they don't become that, but you know what? They become close and have characteristics. And I think that's really good in a world that totally neglects to even look at that. It neglects the man. It neglects to see what a good, strong man is. It's more of a world that makes fun of him, doesn't really care about the man too much. And I think Jesus is the ultimate example. And I'm sure that whatever religion you are, if you grew up with other religions, that I'm sure there's good examples there too. But for me, growing up in the U.S., under a Christian household, Jesus was the first example of a true alpha male, of a true man that I could learn from. Besides my father was flawed. But, you know, I think the story of sacrifice can help every single one of us, especially going into the new decade. We've had 10 years of growing, 10 years of maybe even boredom or depression, some things that we're ashamed of, some things that we want to get rid of. We're coming into a new year and a new decade, which is sort of symbolic, new times ahead. All right? 10 years breaking out of the old into the new. You know, the last 10 years were tough, man. I spent it, I was 20 years old. I'm 28 now, but 10 years of facing hard times. 10 years of trying to, you know, just make things happen. 10 years of battling myself, my own stuff. And so coming into this year, what I really want to make sure that I acknowledge is that in order for me to grow and not stagnate, it's going to require sacrifice. It's going to require me being different, me giving something up to become a man that I'm supposed to be. Because if I keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, the same things that I've done for the last 10 years, then in the next 10 years I'm going to be that same person. So in order for there to be growth, there has to be something that dies. There has to be something that you put aside, an offering, a sacrifice. Okay? And it doesn't have to be your life, but maybe it has to be something that's holding you back, something that's holding you down. Okay? And I would say take a couple days to really understand what that is in your life that's holding you back. Sometimes it's small, sometimes it needs to be big. Sometimes it's a physical thing, sometimes it's a mental, a way of thinking, trying to please a certain people. Maybe it's an addiction, maybe it's something that's habitual you're doing every day. But you have to take out your sword and you have to kill that thing. You have to sacrifice it. And you give it to God. You say, here, I'm giving up this piece of me for you. I'm giving this up to become something greater, something that you want me to be. It's symbolic. I'm telling you, God, the future, the universe, take this thing that is causing me suffering, that's causing my family suffering, my anger, my addictions, my hatred. Okay, take it from me. Here, I'm going to go forward without this. I don't need it. To become something new. Okay? To become something reborn. Sacrifice. A key. I think the way forward. Okay? So I thank you for joining me here with this message. It's not always going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. Okay? But it's good. It's going to make us tougher. So I'll see you guys soon. Peace.